You're likely unfamiliar with the name BlackRock. This American financial firm started from scratch and is now the largest and most reliable administrator of other people's money worldwide. They are responsible for assets worth an incredible $6.3 trillion. Welcome to Billionista. If you love videos about luxury living, please subscribe and click the bell so you never miss a video. And don't forget to like and share too. Since it was founded in 1988, this organization has been widely recognized as the sole entity capable of exercising true control over every other corporation in the world. Management of assets worth close to 10 trillion USD. What is BlackRock and how did this company end up with so much sway over the financial futures of millions of individuals around the world? BlackRock Inc. is a New York City-based American multinational investment management corporation. It used to be a risk management and fixed income-focused institutional asset manager. As time passed, it expanded to the point that it now has 70 offices in 30 countries and consumers in 100 countries. So what exactly is going on here? Larry Fink, BlackRock's current chairman and CEO, founded the company in 1988. Susan Wagner, Ralph Scholstein, Ben Golub, Hugh Frater, Barbara Novick, and Robert Escobedo are also contributors. It only took a few months for the business to start making money, and by the end of the following year, the organization's assets had tripled to $2.7 billion. It was formerly known as BlackRock before a rebranding in 1992. The company managed $17 billion in assets in 1990, which increased to $53 billion by 1994. BlackRock's rise may be compared to a meteor. BlackRock's growth through the years resulted from both organic expansion and shrewd acquisitions. BlackRock's AUM hit a record $1 trillion in 2004, thanks to its mergers and acquisitions. However, even then, it was so massive that the US government contracted BlackRock to assist in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. In terms of assets managed, BlackRock is predicted to be unrivaled by its competitors by 2009. BlackRock is larger than the biggest bank in the world. The Industrial and Commercial Bank of China has been dubbed a Wall Street phantom for many years. But even now, the majority of people still don't get it. Yet, that hasn't stopped it from receiving its share of criticism. You have to push some people away if you want to achieve BlackRock levels of influence. Those assets have been questioned for the damage they allegedly do to the environment. For the oil industry as a whole, BlackRock is a top 3 shareholder, and for the coal industry as a whole, BlackRock is a top 10 shareholder in 7 of the world's 10 largest coal businesses. These appear to be really serious charges. BlackRock, however, is working to refute these claims by making large investments in environmental preservation and sustainability. Not even legitimate objections have been able to stop the monster from growing. BlackRock handles assets worth multiple trillions of dollars, or around 10% of all financial assets worldwide. Its impact goes much beyond the acquisition and upkeep of financial resources. Regarding major investments, BlackRock is the go-to financial counsel for governments and institutions like pension and insurance funds. They put their money into businesses all throughout the globe. To a small extent, BlackRock is involved in some parts of the international monetary system, from the headquarters located right in the center of Manhattan. BlackRock is a global gatekeeper for some of the world's most influential people and institutions, as well as having enormous stakes in major US banks. They also control significant stakes in a wide range of overseas corporations. The production of vehicles in Germany, the mining of iron ore in South America, and the extraction of gold in Africa. The use of BlackRock is a solution for any difficulty. How do they manage in light of the unpredictability of the economy? A few short years ago, it seemed possible that this could work, but today it seems impossible. This is not news to BlackRock. Because of this, they went ahead and developed a highly effective software platform called Aladdin to help them adjust to the ever-changing environment. At BlackRock, Aladdin is tasked with doing a client risk analysis. BlackRock solicits private data from large financial institutions like banks and insurance companies to generate high-stakes risk analysis for which clients pay top cash. Aladdin is, in a nutshell, a collection of 5,000 computers in one place. To keep tabs on millions of transactions and assess client accounts, its staff works around the clock by considering all possibilities and deciding with frightening accuracy. And potential negative outcomes provide a highly accurate gauge of risk. That program is so prevalent that it has replaced humans as the decision maker at numerous large banks. Aladdin's many uses for BlackRock extend far beyond its value in risk analysis. With this software, they may access sensitive data from banks, pension funds, and insurance companies all across the world. In essence, it gave them a look at how $20 trillion in assets are managed. BlackRock currently manages a staggering $10 trillion in assets, so this is in addition to that. It can access and utilize much materials and information. BlackRock has strengthened its position in the global financial market. It owns shares and has voting rights in some of Europe's most important utilities, oil and gas companies, transportation companies, and food producers. You already realize what I'm talking about is essential to maintaining a civilized society. It is mind-boggling how much influence BlackRock has over people's lives. As a custodian of people's retirement funds, it wields enormous power in society and politics, advising national governments on a regular basis. Central banks frequently invite BlackRock to undertake traditional bank audits and advise management. You know you've made it when the government agency in charge of a country's financial system adds you to their contacts list. In a twist of fate, central banks have asked BlackRock to audit and advise them on banks in which BlackRock has significant ownership due to the firm's size. BlackRock can have a voice on both sides of the table, effectively assisting the government in managing the banks it already owns. Whose visionary idea was it to build this monster, and how rich must he be now? You can thank BlackRock's founding billionaire Larry Fink. Fink has always been thought of as someone who aims high and has a firm grasp of the workings of the financial markets. This combination, to put it nicely, packs a punch. It's strange that, after costing his former employer $100 million, he would go on to found a company that would go on to amass such fortunes. Fink started his bond structuring and trading career on Wall Street when he was just 23 years old. In a little over a decade's time, you went from obscurity to legendary status with startling speed, lending a hand to expanding the debt securitization market, revolutionizing Wall Street's approach to loan management. There are many comedic moments throughout Larry Fink's rise to prominence. The man responsible for creating a crucial device that aided in the economic collapse has been hired by the United States Treasury. At 31, he had already established himself as a financial prodigy and became the youngest managing director in Boston's history, increasing their wealth by $1 billion. It seemed like Larry was a moneymaker from all indications, until he could no longer be so. Toxic asset Larry would cost his company $100 million in just one day. He was terminated from his position at the corporation, where he had amassed an outrageous fortune over the course of 12 years. After some initial setbacks, he was instrumental in establishing and growing BlackRock into the dominant force it is today. But it's safe to say that Larry Fink is now completely well again. His wealth is estimated to be more than $1 billion. Therefore, in addition to having authority over assets worth several trillion dollars and control over the United States government's budget, to now, we have barely scratched the surface of BlackRock's enormous might. One, they are more involved than most people think in a handful of extremely successful enterprises and shows. Because of BlackRock's large stake in Apple, the investment firm has access to the tech giant's massive share of the mobile device market. They're also shareholders in Microsoft, another tech industry giant, proving beyond a reasonable doubt that significant technological impact may be achieved without creating a single microprocessor, given adequate resources. BlackRock has a substantial investment in healthcare behemoths like Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson because they know where to put their money. BlackRock's portfolio includes major oil companies such as ExxonMobil and Chevron. BlackRock has invested in a wide variety of well-known businesses. The company is making a bigger splash in the areas of sustainable finance and ESG or CSR, corporate responsibility. They invested much in an effort to be eco-friendly and fashionable simultaneously. BlackRock has used its great clout to bring environmental and multicultural issues to the forefront, including sending letters to CEOs and funding programs like the Carbon Disclosure Project. BlackRock invests in companies that don't satisfy these standards despite publicly lobbying for the US government to require private organizations to report their climate effect, board diversity, and other factors. This is just another example of BlackRock trying to have it both ways. So, Billionistas, what do you think about BlackRock's influence in the world? Let me know in the comments. That's it for this time. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.